Years ago when I started teaching at Sloan this course in 2000, and they wanted me to teach a course on entrepreneurship, and I thought, well, you can't teach entrepreneurship. This is you can maybe learn it, but you can't teach it. And I realized I had this problem with the word entrepreneurship, is that it actually comes from the French word to undertake, which is kind of ironic because that means literally undertaker, which is kind of unfortunately where we find ourselves often as entrepreneurs, is you're kind of dealing with undertaking in the other meaning of the word. Yeah. But the real, the more serious part of what I want to say is this part, which is what I don't like is the ending of the word. So ship as the ending of a word in English often means the state of being something. Craftsmanship, leadership, friendship, sportsmanship, right? All these ships mean the state of being something. Now, I'm an engineer. I don't do engineership.
You do engineering.
I do engineering,
Yes.
which is the act of doing something.
Yes.
And what I really find is an unfortunate remnant of the history of this field is that people are thought to be something versus do something, and therefore they spend all their time trying to analyze the history, the DNA, the character of people who do this, whereas I think at some point people are going to realize that a lot of different kinds of people can do this, but this is entrepreneuring.
Yes.
It's not entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And as soon as society flips that, which is, by the way, happening right around us, all these incubators, mentor services, all these accelerators, all of these are, but when I started 20 years ago, that was not at all in vogue. It's great to celebrate things, but after a while, you got to stop celebrating this because it shouldn't be this rare and it shouldn't be this hard. The reason it is that people often tell themselves, this is like a lottery, it's not going to work, and they do it without a lot of forethought. And that's, I think, why courses like this really should get people to say, I could do it by winging it, but do I want to actually have as my profession improvisation? I mean, if you want to do that, you can be a comedian, you can be a jazz musician, but the notion that you're going to improvise for a living and then take unsuspecting people's money and then let alone make something you put into patients to save them, just think about the juxtaposition of how we do entrepreneurship and what we do in entrepreneurship. Pretty big difference. So I think, I'm very happy that I'm living long enough to see this field literally become a profession. And part of the reason I used to call it parallel entrepreneurship is because it was kind of so ironic. What does it mean to do you can be one thing. How can we be parallel entrepreneurship, right? But once something becomes a profession, I think this is going to be, I think, my kids who are in their 20s now, but the next generation who does this will be more like a profession, like medicine, architecture, versus this sideshow that's celebrated and people are getting movies made and get rich quick scheme. It's going to be a profession.